Are you worried about the Kira Talent interview? If so, you're not alone. This is one of the biggest hidden hurdles in business school admissions, and most applicants don't realize how tough it is until they're sitting there in front of their screen watching the timer countdown. So that's why I've built something new for you, the Video Interview Prep app. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works and how you can use it to help you master Kira. And in case you're wondering, it's free. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Caitlin, an Oxford MBA and admissions consultant who has helped hundreds of students win interviews and offers to all the top business schools in the world. Time and time again, I've seen the Kira interview make even strong applicants nervous. But the good news is that it is absolutely something you can train for. So what exactly is Kira Talent? Well, it's an online video interview platform that is used by hundreds of schools in the admissions process. So instead of interacting with a live interviewer, you're going to be given a set of random questions, usually, and 20 to 30 seconds to read the question and think, and then the camera will come on automatically, and you will have 1 to 2 minutes to give your response, which is recorded. Now, whatever you say in that 1 to 2 minutes is what the admissions committees will see. So usually there are no redos. Admissions committees will then watch your recordings later, and they'll judge not only what you say, but how you think under pressure, your communication style, and your presence on camera. And that's what makes it so stressful for people. So the problem is that a lot of applicants will just do a little bit of light practice, maybe brainstorm some ideas, but they'll never actually put themselves under timed interview-like conditions. So when the real thing happens, they freeze or they start rambling or get distracted by the timer counting down. And that's what could ultimately lead to a rejection. That's exactly why I built the Video Interview Prep app. Right now, it's focused on audio practice, which means you'll be able to practice your answers out loud under timed conditions without the stress of seeing yourself on video. Having said that, video capability will be coming soon, but I wanted you to start building your confidence with the audio practice right away. All right, here's how it works. When you go to the landing page, you're going to have to register. So you're going to give your email address and create a password, and then you log in. The first screen that you're going to see is the dashboard, and that's where you'll see level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. So level 2 to 4 is going to be locked until you finish level 1. Now, the first thing I want you to do is start with the Master Frameworks activity. So click on that. When it opens, you'll see the link to the frameworks video that I've made. And it's important you watch that first if you haven't already, because down below, you're gonna see all of the 3 frameworks that I teach my students to use in answering their questions detailed out, and you need to get really comfortable with those. Once you've reviewed it enough, then you can click on I've reviewed them and the task is now complete. The next activity is going to be the untimed match. And so this is where you're going to start getting comfortable with looking at a question and understanding which framework you need to use instantaneously. Okay, so you're not going to be good at it in the beginning, but that's okay. You just need to get some familiarity with what frameworks you could use for different kinds of questions. So that's what this activity is about. So if you open it, you'll see, okay, we've got 10 questions. The first one is, why do you want to go to business school? Now, down below, you're going to see the STARL framework, buckets, or 2-part. So you now need to make your selection. Which one of those frameworks do you think you should use? Now I'm going to select buckets because I know that I want to give multiple reasons for why I want to attend this school. And so then it's going to show me that I got it correct. And then it's going to move me on to the next question. So you need to do that with those 10 questions first. Now we want to do the timed match, which is going to add the pressure of the clock. So click on that activity and you'll see that instantly you have 15 seconds to answer the first question. And it's going to be the same idea. Tell me which framework you want to use for this question, because in the actual Kira assessment, that's what you're going to be hit with. 20 seconds to think about the question, how you want to answer it. And the first thing you need to know is which framework are you going to use for this question. So I'm going to click on a framework. And then if I got it right, it tells me yes, and we move on. If not, I have to try again the next time. Okay, so keep doing those activities until you achieve the maximum number of points possible. Then you're gonna move on to level 2, the voice and content. So you're gonna do the one activity, talk it through. Now, what you're gonna do is look at the question and you're going to respond by clicking on start recording. Now, your goal is to get your answer to be under 90 seconds, but most of you probably won't hit that in the beginning, or you'll be way under. So this is gonna be an exercise for you to learn how to manage the time that you have. Most schools will be 60 seconds or 90 seconds. So it's good to just practice with this first, getting comfortable with having restrictions on your timing. Now, once you hit the button stop recording, you're going to see a little box pop up that lets you listen to your response. So you should listen to it. And down below that, you'll see the reflection checklist. Now, this is the checklist of all the things that I want you to ask yourself. Did you complete these things when you gave your answer? So for example, under structure, it says, I used the buckets framework. So for this particular question, that's the one you should have used. So if you didn't, then you need to go back and try it again. But if you did, you check it off and go down the whole list of these statements and make sure that you can check them off. Once you do, then you can mark it as complete. If not, you keep re-recording until you can make sure that each one of these statements is true of your response. So this is training you to understand what it is you're going for in this kind of question. Okay, now you're on to level 3, and this one's going to show you what I mean about creating the perfect setup for your Kira interview. And this goes for any human interview as well. So click on the activity, create the perfect setup. And you're going to see a little scene here, which if you click on the rotate view, you'll see it rotate. This is meant to be a simulation of what a room should look like when it's set up correctly. So you're gonna have to click on remove the plant, that goes away. We have to take down the painting, the wall art, so you gotta click on that. The barking dog, you gotta remove the little fella. And then add light, that's the ring light. When you click it, you'll see the light come on. And we need to, of course, dress professionally. And so once you do all of these things, you'll see the visual of what we're going for. And then you scroll down and you can see the goal, your perfect setup should look like that. And then you're gonna click on submit and you're done with that task. So now when you're done with this task, you should actually go to the room that you plan to do your Kira Talent interview in, and you should move things around so that it matches this ideal setup. Okay, now you're on to level 4, the final rehearsal. So now you need to click on the activity and you'll see instantly the timer starts counting down from 20. That's your time to read the question and think about what you're going to say. So of course you need to pick a framework and then you need to start listing out the content that you want to give the admissions committee. Then it's going to automatically start recording you, and you're going to have to give your answer for 1 minute. So before I gave you 90 seconds, in this final rehearsal, I want you to get really good at timing your responses to be under 1 minute, because that's most often what you're gonna see in the Kira Talent interview. So you're gonna go through all 5 questions and it's gonna be rough, but that's why you keep doing it. So the purpose of the final rehearsal activity is to simulate the Kira Talent interview as closely as possible. So however you feel when you're doing that practice is how it's gonna feel in the Kira Talent interview. So you should just keep doing it over and over until you start to feel very comfortable with that timing. So once you finish all 4 levels, then you'll see this little green screen pop up and it'll show you your stats, and then you can share your results if you want. The thing that I want to bring your attention to is when you scroll down past all the levels to the very bottom, you'll see the reset button. So you should click on that when you've already gone through it at least once, and then it will reset all the activities so that you can do them again and get more practice in. What I would encourage you to do is to practice these all out. So don't hold back. Say them out loud and actually record yourself. This is coming from my previous experience as a professional Latin dance competitor, where when we were practicing for competitions, we needed to go full out in our practice, because whatever we practiced, that's what was going to happen in the actual performance. It's the same thing with the Cura Talent interview. Practicing out loud and under pressure is going to give you the edge in the Cura Talent interview, because most applicants won't take the time to do that. The video interview prep app takes the guesswork out of preparation. So by the time you hit the record button in the real interview, it will feel like just another practice round. So if you're serious about standing out in your Cura Talent interview, then you need to start practicing now with the video interview prep app. The link is in the description. Don't go into your interview unprepared. Take control, build your confidence, and let's get you that offer. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, then don't forget to subscribe. I share admission strategies every week. I wish you all the very best with your Cura Talent interview. I'll be cheering for you. I believe in you. You've got this.